Hello, bonjour everybody. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching my video. Today's battle report, Flames of War, and it's going to be the Third Canadian Infantry Division, so the British Commonwealth, against the Waffen-SS. We're going to use the Bagration River Assault mission terrain pack, and it's river crossing that we're going to do for scenario. So we have the Canadian on this side of the table. They will try to seize the railroad crossing or the bridge, go across, or the infantry go through using their boat to go across the river there. For the Canadian, we have 4 priests, 2 platoon of 9 team with his command, 2 M10 17-pounder, a section of 4 mortar, and a section of 4 heavy machine gun vehicles. We also have little troops of Recce with 1 Little John and the other 2 centimeters. We have, to finish, a formation of headquarters Sherman with 2 troops of 4 vehicles, 3 Sherman, 1 Firefly. That complete for the Canadian. On the German side, we have 4 battery of AA-88. They are in nest. We also have 4 heavy machine gun MJ-42 in nest along the coastal river. We have in the back support by 3 naval warfare, a section of 4 mortar platoon. We have 4 light AA defense. For the infantry, we have 2 platoon of 17 of MJ-42, so Panzergrenadier with their headquarters. Now, because the Germans are in defensive, they will have late reinforcement, and the late reinforcement is 40 points. So we have 2 Tiger for 25 points, 3 Jagdpanzer for 14 points, and 1 Panzer III observation vehicle for 1 point. That's 40 points. Also, the Germans have an ambush, and it's going to be 3 7.5 anti-tank gun. So that complete for the German side and the British Canadian side. The objective has to be 8 inches from every edge of the table, starting with the river, so 8 inches from the river and 8 all around. So you can place your objective on all those positions. For the boat crossing the river, it said in the book, you are allowed to 4 boats for every 25 points of infantry. So with my 2 platoon of infantry, my machine gun, and my mortar team, it's 30 points. So I'm allowed to 8 boats to cross the river in this scenario. So when it's time to cross the river, 3 teams per boat. So if you have your platoon, the entire platoon, if they are less than 4 inches from the river bank, can jump into the boat. To go across, the boat will move with the current. So if you roll a dice between 1 and 2, and your platoon will drift, and the boat will drift by 4 inches, depending on the current direction. 3 to 4, 8 inches, 5, 12, and 6, 16 inches. But I think it's a bit too much for a river crossing. So let's 1 to 3 will be 4 inches, and 4 to 6 will be 8 inches for the drift. That's personal rules for that. When your troops are inside the boat, the distance doesn't have any impact on tactical movement. If you are inside the boat on that movement and you start to turn, you go across with the dice roll. You cannot shoot, move or do anything during that time. When you reach across to the other bank of the river, you stay in your boat until the next turn. So it's pretty easy. Turn 1, for example, you get onto the boat, you roll your dice, you roll a 3, you move 4 inches with the current, and you reach the other bank of the river. That's finished for the movement phase for that team, and they cannot shoot, attack, or being attacked by anyone. On turn 2, they will be allowed to disembark and do a tactical movement. When the boat are empty, you roll a dice, and through 3+, the boat will go back across the river to get more troops if they are available on the beach. Now for the bridge. Bridge has to be 12 inches apart for sure, and you are allowed to one bridge for vehicle or one bridge for train, for example, or passage at low level of river for every 24 inches. So if your map have 4 feet wide, then you are allowed to two crossing for the vehicles. Movement is complete. The Canadian has to be at least 8 inches from the riverbank. So we have in the forest 1 platoon of infantry. In the middle we have the headquarters of the infantry and the 2nd platoon of infantry. Further down we have our 4 machine gun and 4 mortar hiding behind the forest there. Now the thing, we have 1 troop on the road. It is protected by the forest and the hill, so they are covered. We have the Daimler Recce on the road too. We have the M10 hiding behind the house. They are waiting to see where the development goes for moving. We have our 4 priests in the forest to support the infantry crossing. We have our 2nd troops of Sherman Firefly behind the house. And we have at 8 inches at least from the riverbank the command of Sherman. The German troops, as you saw before, the 4 AA gun team are in nest 8 inches from the riverbank. All completely deployed. We have the machine gun in nest as well, deployed along the riverbank 8 inches from the side. We have a platoon of infantry in the first house here, team of 7, so there's 4 in the house, 2 outside with the command. In the center house we have 2 command of headquarters of the infantry for the German SS, and on the third house we have the 2nd platoon of infantry. The mortar are behind the row house here. The naval warfare are in the forest, ready to support command. We have a deep reserve in the back, the Jagdpanzer, and the 2 Tiger with the observation Panzer III. In ambush we have 3 7.5 anti-tank gun and the 4 AA light AA vehicle are behind the house here waiting to deploy where they need to support the infantry. So that complete both sides. We are ready to start turn 1. The Canadians just finished their turn 1. The 1st platoon here went against the riverbank, so they are ready to try to cross the river. The 2nd platoon moved forward about 8 inches or so, but just enough so they don't be in a range in. So they are ready to reach the riverbank on its next turn. The heavy machine gun at the far end went across the forest and went against the riverbank here, hiding from with the bush for concealment. And they are ready to support the infantry. They're going to try to cross. The mortar fired 4 shots. They aim at the platoon here. That's their marker right there. they hit on 3-4 the AA assault gun. They are concealed and in foxhole, or plus they are in bulletproof cover. So they got hit on 3, 4, 5. So they got hit. The heavy machine gun also got hit. The 4 people, 4 team in the house where nothing happened to them, no hit. So they have to do firepower against, because they missed their save there of 4+. So they play firepower against them. They succeed on the first one because they are in bulletproof cover. They had to redo their firepower, and they success, so they destroyed that 88. The priests were aiming at this end of the map. They fired all their shot against the AA assault gun there, and the machine gun in that nest. Nothing happened. There were 4 teams in the house. Nothing happened to them. So everybody is safe over here. Nobody is pinned down. At the other end, we lost only 1 team, and nobody is pinned down. At this end, the troop of tank move to the intersection. They will get ready to go across the bridge, and our Daimler just advance up to near the bridge crossing so they can try to dash across the bridge on the next turn. So that complete turn 1 for the British or the Canadian. Turn 1 for the German. The German just changed their aiming point for their naval warfare and mortar. They placed the mortar on the first platoon near the riverbank. They fired 1 shot to everybody. They hit 5 times. From the 5 times, everybody was saved. So nothing happened, except they are pinned down. Then the naval warfare, they reset their aiming point to hit this platoon. So they managed to aim at the first shot. So they are in for after the first shot. So they hit on the 4. They managed to hit 3 teams. 1 fail is saved, and it was destroyed. So we lost 1 infantry team on those, but they are pinned down. Nothing happened to the infantry command for the Canadian. So that complete turn 1 for the German. They just moved their aiming point and of their naval warfare and mortar team toward the 2 platoon of infantry. They destroyed 1 team. So we complete turn 1. Let's go turn 2 for the Canadian. End of turn 2 for the Canadian. What we've done is the one near the railroad station. First, I start to put them on the boat and get across, but I figure they are the only one to get across. They're going to be the only one to die on the next move. So I let them bring them back on. So that's why they might shuffle a bit the troops there, but they're all there at the same position. So they didn't fire, they didn't move, so they got gone to ground. I tried to dig in. I failed the skill because it's a 4+. My 2nd Infantry Platoon went on the beach too, so getting ready to get on the boat on the next turn. And on the other side here, I brought my Vickers machine gun onto the beach too. So all 3 teams will be ready to get across on turn 3. On this end, all my vehicle, Sherman platoon, Sherman troops are on the road against the bridge, ready to come across. So when the infantry are going to go across, my 2 troops of Firefly Sherman will go across. My M10 are behind them, getting ready to go. I got my Daimler vehicle in the back of the Sherman. What they will do is we're going to leave them for dash move across to go as further possible inside the enemy line, and that will complete the movement on the next turn. So they haven't shoot, they just move forward and sit there at the bridge end. So that complete my movement order for the Canadian. I use my mortar and my priest to fire bombardment at the previous mark. Nothing happened, so everybody is safe on the German side. So that complete turn 2 for the Canadian. Turn 2 for the German. Nobody moved. They stay where they are put. And only the artillery, the mortar platoon, and naval warfare fired. Also, the 88 AA gun on the far right that we can see in the corner below, fire is shot. So the A88 centimeter fired 2 shots at the command, 2 Sherman over there. They missed both shots. I have to use the mortar on the platoon over there that was already underneath. They tried to dig in, they missed, so they were gunned to ground. They fired it twice. They saved both teams. The Canadians saved, but they are now pinned down. The platoon of infantry there, we remove the marker and move the marker so the naval warfare can be effective against them. They fire on the second attempt. They range in, so we fire 2 hits and they save, but they are pinned down as well. So that complete turn 2 for the German. Turn 3 for the Canadian. The 2 infantry platoon were pinned down. They unpinned, so they went across. My Vickers also went on their boat and came across. They moved by 8 inches while the 2 Canadian platoon moved by 4 inches to the left. So they're all on the other side on the beach ready for the next turn. My tank stay put. What I did is I moved my markers of artillery and mortar and moved them so I'm ready for smoke after this on the next phase. They fail the marker range in for the mortar, so there's no marker there. Hopefully in the next turn we're going to be able to range in with them, otherwise we will be short of 1 mortar team with smoke. But the other marker is at this place and we are ready to smoke the hell out of them when we disembark from the boat and my tank go across. So that complete turn 3 for the Canadian. Turn 3 for the German. There's no bailout team, there's no pin down unit, so we save that and we start with rolling for reinforcement. We fail the reinforcement, so there's no troops coming in. My 88 centimeter minimite or 8.8 centimeter A gun fired 2 shots at my command Sherman. They fail. We move both marker for mortar and naval warfare. They aim at the entrance of the bridge there because my command in the middle house able to see that. The mortar fail range in and my naval warfare succeed. So they managed to pin down the platoon of Sherman at the entrance, or the Sherman troops at the entrance of the bridge, and the command are pinned down as well. So we are at, we just complete turn 3 for the German, time turn 4 for the Canadian. Turn 4 for the Canadian, he had 1 troop of Sherman Firefly pinned down. I unpinned them. The command were pinned down. I was not able to successfully pin them out, so they stay pinned down. The infantry, before the infantry, the marker for my mortar, I was able to range in on this time, so they lay smoke. My priest lay smoke too, so there's a big long line of smoke protecting my infantry getting on the beach. They move a bit more to the left for my 2 platoon, and my Vickers also disembark. My first platoon here, they just move a bit more along the riverside to be pushing in from the left side of the river bank. Not the river bank, but the left side of the map. My Sherman troop, they tried to blitz. Both troops failed, so they were not able to blitz. So they are stuck right at the bridge there with road dash as a tactical move, so they cannot fire on this turn. My second troop here, platoon of infantry, they were less than 4 inches off the machine gun nest, so they tried to fire at, did not really do anything to him. They counterattack on the assault. They fired 6 shots, they hit 3 times, and they destroyed 1 team. My 88 AA fired 2 shots at them, and they missed both shots, so nothing happened to them. So they continued with the assault, and because they are deadly assault, they managed to get rid of the machine gun here. So we are a big open hole on this side of the map here. So the Canadian will try to infiltrate on turn 5 and move toward this objective. Now that complete turn 4 for the Canadian, and we go for the German now. Turn 4 for the German. They rolled for reserve, 2 dice. They were able to get 1 5 and 1 3, so they decided to bring the Tiger. The Tiger moved 10 inches from the edge, and they had a clear shot to my Daimler over there. So 1 shot each, but they were not able to hit. They need a 5, and they got 2 4. So that's complete for the Tiger movement and shooting. At this end of the table for the German, the 88 here fired 2 shots toward the troop of Sherman Firefly. They hit once, and they choose to hit the Firefly. They went directly to firepower, and they destroyed the Firefly right here. Now, this entrench or nest heavy machine gun fired 6 shots at those infantry team. They hit 3 times, they destroyed 1 team, and that's it for them. The troop inside the house, here, and all that troop here is more than 6 inches from the enemy. Because of the smoke screen, they don't see them, so they cannot fire at them. So we're good for that. And that complete turn 4 for the German. While I was making that recap of turn 4 for the German, I said they were done. But here, I forgot to bring the ambush tank, 7.5 inch tank. So I decided with both parties to allow that. So my 3 inch tank goes in ambush here. They are concealed from the troops there, so they don't need, they are fine where they are. They fire 2 shots each. They hit 5 times. So firepower to those 3 guys, and they are done. So the entire platoon of Daimler history. So that complete finally turn 4 for them. Turn 5 for the Canadian. So I don't remember they have any pinned down unit or bed out tank. So we're good. We move. So we'll start from over here. There's a marker. You can just adjust the camera there. You can see the marker right here. We fire our priest. No, that was the mortar. So we fire the mortar on them. Nothing happened, so we move on. So let's go back to the main sector of the battlefield. So it's about right there. We're good. So we move the remaining of 3 Sherman troop number 1, 10 inches. We try to do blitz move. They succeed, so they move 4 inches closer to. So they open a bit the entrance of the bridge. So dash road move for my 2M10 to the end of the bridge, while my troop of 4 Sherman Firefly fire at this 88 tank gun. we managed to destroy. We hit 4 times. For 6 shots, the save missed 3. So we fired 3 times, and we refired 3 times to destroy it. Because they are bulletproof, so we need to do a second because they are in the nest. Platoon of infantry here move along the river bank, away from the enemy at the far in the town. My Vickers move at the entrance of the wood. They move 8 inches. My second platoon of infantry here move into the forest at least 2 inches from the side, so people in the house don't see them because they are in the forest. So quick decision for the Canadian there. Then when it's time to shoot, those 3 Sherman fire 1 shot each, and they managed to destroy 1 7.5 inch tank gun. So there are 2 guns here. This has been destroyed by the Canadian, and that pretty much complete my movement and firing for the Canadian on turn 5. So we're really close to this objective. So we're going to tie on turn 6 to get on it and to hold it. So let's move on. Turn 5 for the German. We rolled the dice for reserve, and we were managing to be 1 more reserve into the game, and we bring the 3 Panzer IV and staying Jagd Panzer. The range is 32 inches. We move 10 inches from the edge of the map, and we are 35 inches from the 3 Sherman over there, so we did not fire at them. The 2 Tiger move 10 inches, and they are in range with the 3 Sherman. They fire 2 shots. They miss both shots on the Sherman. As you can see at this end of the table, we see the 4 light AA truck. They rush on the road toward the Canadian objective, try to protect it. So they are right nearby. The 2 7.5 inch tank gun fire 4 shots at the 3 Sherman. They bail 1 out because it's instinct 12 and the armor is 6. We roll a 6, so 1 was possible bail. We bail him out. The 2 other are destroyed, so we're going to roll for last 10 on top of the bailout. So we might not see that tank back in the game. That pretty much complete because firing from those machine guns at the troops or the AA nest over there, 88, nothing happened toward the Canadian, so we're pretty safe there. And that would be turn 6 for the Canadian. Turn 6 for the Canadian. Here's the situation. The command team rolled dash across the bridge. So they are right here. My 2 M10 just move a bit forward into the traffic, we can say. They don't fire at the Tiger over there because they don't see it, and there's too much crap to fire at them. That's my say. Now, my remaining platoon here that was bailed out and pinned down, I managed to rally them, so he is fine, and fire 2 shots, nothing happened. My second platoon move around here. They fire 1 shot each, destroy 1 7.5 and bail out the second one. So that complete for my tank situation. We managed to destroy 1 7.5 inch tank and bail out because his armor saved 4, but he missed his firepower, so I assume they bailed him out, something like that. I might be wrong, let me know, but that's how I did play that one, so bail out. My infantry that was in the forest did move onto the road. The platoon along the river bank came right inside at the edge of the forest, or some were in the forest, while my 4 heavy machine gun Vickers went right in the middle of the forest. So that platoon that was inside the forest went into the road and into contact with the light a tank truck, half track. They assault the half track, if we can do that. I assume we can. So they got fire back at them. They did not manage to pin them or destroy the enemy. I think they destroyed only one team. So the remaining of the infantry of the Canadian attack and assault the truck. And it's destroyed on the 3+. So all 4 trucks were destroyed on the assault. Because of the forest, they were not able to support the truck, so they were not able to counter fire at them. This one was less than 8 inches, but they were bailed out, so we're not able to support. So only the fire from the AA light 20 centimeters were able to shoot at the Canadian. Having said that, all 4 trucks have been destroyed. The Canadian moved some inside the house here, so they are more than 2 inches from the mortar and from the people in the house there. And the remaining of the Canadian moved back in the forest at the edge. That brings my Canadian at 4 inches from the objective here. So now they are holding the objective. We need no enemy inside that 10. So they fail their remote or bailout thing, so they have to be destroyed. So I did not play the rest because right from the get-go they are onto the objective and nobody near to protect it. I should assume that it had the German turn 6, so that 2 Tiger tank, even they were not to come over here, because right away at the beginning you remote bailout and you play last stand, and we failed the bailout, so there was no last stand for them and they have been destroyed. That's my understanding. So if they are destroyed, then the Canadians are 4 inches from the objective and nobody nearby to counterattack. So that will complete the game. I might be wrong here. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'm learning as I play those battle report. So that completes my Canadian attack river crossing. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching and see you soon. Don't forget, comments in the bottom, always appreciated. And if I was wrong on any step that I've during the game, feel free to mention them. I like to learn the game properly too. So thank you. Bye-bye.